Everyone, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is the Townnet A of the day. I'm your net controller, Tina number 9 Yankee Uniform Echo. If you're around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign phonetically. And reminder to all that the net is being recorded for training purposes. You may begin.
Tingit number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Kenya number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Unit number 2 Kilo Alpha India.
Okay, we got 3. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Check in, check in, check in. Come and check in. Come and check in. It is now 1 p.m. sharp. It is now 1 p.m. sharp. We're doing the official call out. Please come in with your call sign. Well, well, well. One more call. Final call. Anyone else want to check in? Check in. Okay, we'll begin. Bam. Okay. So, today it's a Monday. Monday with lots of stuff. If you're in the AC room, you already should see a lot of stuff is being poured down, and yeah, so many videos and stuff like that. I wonder if you have gone through them yet or not. And we have been talking about div a lot, especially last night with the net. We brought up something about like diving every day, right? Like, oh, you're going to drive, why not div first, right? So you can always check if your car needs some cleansing before you take off, and that would avoid a lot of troubles. Right? Get yourself prepared before you go. Don't just rush. Yeah, so let's go around table and might as well give everyone some time to check in if they have to. And let's see what you got for the net. T-net number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Tingit number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Yes, there are a number of videos. I was just going through the new videos for the new heart spell. Some cute for those, and reviewing the older ones, and picking up my assignments for getting ready and prepared for the 15th. And I did do my house div this morning with the manifested issues, hidden details, and the final. The final was a good outcome. I thought we weren't supposed to post it unless it was actually a bad outcome, so I didn't do that. Unless we're supposed to post every outcome, which I thought I wasn't sure. I thought we were only supposed to post if it was a bad outcome, and I didn't have a bad outcome. It was fine. I think that's it. Ting at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
there's no suppose or not suppose. It's up to you. But updating is always a good thing. So that you have to like really post like a chart, but you can like be like the others saying, "Oh, I did about the house and it was all good." You know, you can something like that. Uh, yeah, or like house is 108. You know, you can also apply that to the the code, and that would at least let me know you did it. So you can do that. Okay, senior number two, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenure number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Good day to Sergeant Gijan, Sergeant Gijang. Good day to my seniors and my juniors and the people who are in the back listening, creeping. I did the div today. First thing I did as I got up, go to the altar, ring the bell, div, see what's going on with the house, and everything was good. And I went through the usual routine of just getting prepared for the day and doing the things that I have to do in the morning. Something really strange happened this morning, Sajan, and I was waiting for net time to bring it up. So I was after I did the div this morning, and I was preparing to change the tea and go downstairs and make breakfast and then go through the routine, my usual routine. I was just waiting for my kettle to finish boil. Usually I have like a little kettle, and I was just sitting waiting and waiting for it to finish boil the water anyway to make the tea. And instantly I started to feel a very strange sensation, like a little bit of pressure in my forehead, like a very strange sensation. And instantly I just felt like my landlord was calling me. And I went upstairs, I rang the bell, I was like, "Landlord, are you calling me? I gotta sing." And I asked what it is about, and I started to think, and I started to feel like he was trying to tell me something about my cats. And apparently, one of my cats stole one of the cartridges. It was an empty cartridge anyway, an empty cartridge I was saving to put my red ink in, and it was in the other side of the room. And it was such a very unique experience to have my landlord just inform me, "Hey, like, look, one of the cats just stole the cartridge you was saving to put red ink in." And it was a very strange way how they contacted me to Sergeant. Like, I just instantly knew it was my landlord talking to me, and it was a very strange sensation of, yeah, well, like like it was calling me. So yeah, that I've never experienced that before. It was pretty cool, and to have the real time communication, especially with the div, and I think I think it's because, like you said, the more you interact with them, the stronger the communication will become, and you'll be able to have a stronger sense of what they're trying to tell you. And yeah, that was really fun. This is Tanya. Oh, and also pertaining to the videos today, yes, I haven't gone through all of them. I'm actually pacing myself. I'm currently going through the videos with the bowing, and you're right. I bow very strangely. I bow like with my butt out. Um, but yeah, so I'm relearning the bowing and the stepping and stuff. And I'll probably just pace myself thoroughly to get through the other things. Back to you, Tanya, at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Congratulations. You felt the communication now. Yes, as you improve in your mindset and also the div skills and all that, right? Interact more. Sometimes things are very magical and unexplainable. Well, it is explainable, but it's like not ordinary, you know. So yeah, that kind of thing can happen, and it will eventually. Sometimes it can come in like actual dialogue as well. But yeah. Mm. The problem is like there are some ex disciple who think that they got that dialogue and they were actually just, fooling themselves. So they're not there yet, and they start to they start to experience something that they felt it was that dialogue. That's where the problem comes. So I always say, if you're unsure, or even if you're sure, you can always use the div cup to confirm, right? So if it is real, then the div cup will show as well. And there's always the best solution, which is to inform me and let me tell you, because based on experience, a lot of the things that, like when you say it, like it already, like if it's wrong, it already triggers my sensor right away, and I can tell you, nope, that's wrong. That's not the thing. And it's very common for disciples to get confused what's real, what is not, because they're not at that level yet, and the ability is kind of unstable. So like it will come, and then it will get weird, and then it will be like kind of iffy at times. It's normal, right? But if you are not like that ex-disciple that I'm talking about with all that weirdness, you should be fine. So as long as you're sticking close to me, you won't go wrong. Don't worry about it. But yeah, congratulations. You have upgraded a lot from the robo churn mode to now with all these senses. Senior number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Teenage number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I would like to treat everybody in the net and search on kitchen. Basically, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see any videos except for the that stuff that you used to blow and I don't know what is the other thing that you use for div that looks more like a chess. Those are the only thing that I did check. But basically, as far as this div is, I'm still very confused when it comes to div. Um, I won't be able to use it properly until I start it from the scratch, because I catch it I believe I did catch it from the middle. Like counting, for example. But when as far as interpreting and giving, I'm not sure where to start. I was hoping to catch up on that on that part first before I continue to do the deal. Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Yeah, you won't see the other video. Those are in the AC room. You're not in that room. But last night we had some div videos that I was showing how to shake the coin and stuff like that. So those are in the Samlo Palace. Okay, before I begin, let's see if anyone wants to check in. Please come now. Anyone want to check in? Please come now. Okay, we'll continue. You said you're very confused about the div. How confused? Are you not sure about what the div is doing or how to do the procedure? I'm not sure how confused you are or what you're confused about, but div can be very simple. If you have like a pair of coins or 3 coins or the div cup, you can already start diving. You're talking to the god. And usually when you're like trying to do div, it's always a good idea to call up your Sifu with the Harspell 1, right? So you take the coin, you stomp the Harspell 1, and then you ask the question and you throw the coins. It's very simple. Not sure how hard it is. So if let's say I'm driving, like I don't drive, but if you're driving, then before you take off, you can use the coin or the div cup or whatever tool, and you can ask the sifu, and then you do a div on the chair beside you, and see if it's good or bad or whatever, right? If the god say, oh, something's bad, well, immediately you know, like, okay, do I need to like clean up the car or something, right? So do something about it before you take off, and then div again. Um, the method that I was teaching everyone else, like with the whole chart and stuff, that's more advanced, right? But it doesn't need to go that advanced. Like in the morning when we wake up, you want to check up on the house, right? You take the coin, you ask the landlord or the sifu, how's the house today? Boom, 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 toss 3 times, right? And if the last time you're not getting a yum, right? Like you're not getting the yum result, you're a negative, then you're good to go. If what if you got a negative? Well, if you don't know what to do, then it's time to come online and say, "Oh, Satuan, I got a yum here. What do I do?" You know, then you learn, right? It's not hard. It's just that you're thinking too much. Like I said last night, like people are thinking too much. You're always thinking, and then you think it's hard, and then you don't do it. When you don't do it, it's always hard, and it gets harder and harder and harder. But once you try, and then you're stuck at that point, you just open your mouth and say, Satuan, I'm trying to live. I'm stuck here. What do I do? I'll walk you through. Or even your other peers here can walk you through. And they will let you know what to do, right? So, yeah, it's only hard because you have not done it. You have not taken any action. The problem with many disciples is that they don't move. They try to like, let me soak it in. Let me just listen to more. You know what? The more you listen and not do, the harder it is. It's just like eating, right? You eat a lot of food and you don't go to the washroom. Eventually, what happened? The shit is stuck. It cannot come out, right? The longer you wait, the longer it cannot come out. So, yeah, when you eat something, just go poop right away. Okay, Tia number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. I was kind of stuck on that last part about not doing anything, and if you don't do anything, you're going to end up exploding. So, yeah, definitely to get on with different things and ask for someone to help. And if Shadron can't help, then, you know, one of us will jump in and try to help out too. Like I said, I'm just trying to get through all the material, and I know there's been a lot of it, and just I'm learning the new stuff, so I don't have a lot to say about it. So I guess I can pass the mic over. I guess that's the best thing I can do for now until there's something I can say more about it. Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Oh, you know what? On the net, you don't have to always be a follower. Like, oh, someone said something, I contribute, you know, or I continue. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be like, okay, I don't have anything to say about that, but because of that, you know, I have something else, right? Like, for example, we were talking about the div and learning and all that, right? If I am high, I would be like this. Yeah, the learning part is like that, and sometimes we have this issue. So yeah, I had that issue too. But you know what? Last night I was like cooking this chicken, and you know the chicken is like that, and it leads me to something else, right? Like it can always go like that. You have to follow what people are talking, or else it would be like. You know, always strolling into the same topic, and you cannot get something else into the table. Okay, well, a reminder to all that you should get a the div bracelets. You know, at least make one. It's really useful. You can connect 2 of those coins with a cord, and bring it around and div in the car on the go. It's just so nice. Okay. Let's go to your number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Vignette number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sajwan, just to touch on what you just mentioned to Hasaja about you don't necessarily have to stick to the topic all the times. I think sometimes we tend to forget or we get into robot mode and go back and think that this is a class when this is not a class. This is where we come and meet with our Sadran and we get the opportunity to soak in his chi and stay connected through the day, whether you come in one of the nets during the day or all of them. It's just opportunity to talk and congregate. And with that being said, you did mention yesterday, well, no, you posted a picture yesterday about the celestial medic and how we grow from our head downwards. So the chi, our head is kind of like the roots that pull in a lot of the resources, which should be from the ground, the yin sun, and it goes to our limbs, which act like our leaves and stuff. Is it like in some weird way that we are constantly upside down? Just from looking at the picture, and also looking at the picture, it reminded me of a very strange conspiracy theory that I came across, like probably like a year or two ago, about something called Cabbage Patch Kids, where they were cloning kids, and the picture reminded me of that because how they would clone the kids are from the head up. They would have them in this mass field and just growing them. And they started out they grew them after World War II because of a lot of the depopulation or a lot of people died, and they started to spread them all over the place. It's a really wild theory, but the picture that you drew had a lot of striking similarities to that theory. It was so interesting because how the factlick is transferred to the head. The head is a receiver and is distributed through the whole body. And I remember you said a lot of this is metaphysics, and it has a lot of striking similarities to that documentary I saw, in cloning and how the energy or the factlick, for the normal people the energy, but for us the factlick is distributed through the body like how water is being soaked up through the roots and distributed through to related to 39 star theory, it is captured in D5, and then D6 is where it put task on it. It started to distribute specific task for whatever it absorb, and then D7 is when it has the urge to go and perform those things. This is Tinya at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
That has nothing to do with the physical, like babies or human. So not related at all. And you cannot grow babies like that. This is a way to understand because in the Yun Sun, everyone has what we call the Yun Sun flower. And there's like this huge flower that represents you, and it can have like a flower representing other things like your career, your whatever other things, anything in life. There's like a flower. And this flower, if you go to the Yunsan and look at it, right, like there's a flower that is related to your Tao side as well, right? Like it has to do with your magic power and all that stuff. So this flower, like in the Yunsan, if you go there, it looks like a flower, like a gigantic flower that is about like it's kind of like the size of a house, like 2-3 stories high, like huge. And this flower, if you look at it and you think it's just a flower, then you're confused because it's like a metaphor. That's how the Yunsan relay the message. So if you understand this theory, you know how to look at the flower, then you understand what's going on, like what is it talking about in this life. So it is a combination of my experience, so traveling around the Yunsan of people and myself, and then later learning the knowledge from Samlo's side, and then finally understanding what's going on. And it also relates to the like our meridians and all that. So everything is related, and it's a very, very important piece of information to open you up for the celestial medic side. Okay, well, let's see. Coming up, there is important stuff. Next, coming like the next 2 weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks, it's the lunar July month, and this lunar July month, people call that the ghost month, right? But is it very scary? Well, yeah. There's like not scary, but it's very haunted at the same time. I'll talk more about that in a bit. Tina number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India. About the diving, at this moment, I just div now. I did ask the way you said, and then I find out. Well, I wanted to find out if my house is clean, and then I div, and then I div 3 times. Hence, the result was yum yang yang, and then the last one, that was the yum yang, and I quickly clean up quickly, and then I find yang yang yam in the end of after I div, and I believe it was a positive result. But then I don't know how to record it based on what I see. There's those signs that I see when the people are doing it. They write 0, 0, and then there's X also. I don't know which one is which. I wish to understand that. How do you determine whether you should put the 0 or an X? Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
When we write it down, right, the O is the yang, the positive, X is the yum, the negative. Okay, so if you use the 3 coin method, then you shake the coin, lay it out, and record, right? So you record the div in a row, like horizontal, and then you have 3 rows. Okay, so 3 div. If you have a triple X or triple O, that is a sing. Okay. If you have like a 2 yang, 2 positive, that is a positive. 2 yum, then is a negative. Okay. So just like that. So yeah, if you're tossing the 3 times, the last row, if you have like 2 yum, then you need to check up. If you don't, then it's pretty good to go. Okay. Now remember that you're asking your God, is like, is there anything wrong? Anything I need to look at, right? So if, let's say, your place was always dirty, always having those problems, it's not something that is new or something you can fix. Your God can also say, yeah, it's okay, because your ordinary, your normal is dirty, right? So when the gods see that, it's like, yeah, that's how you used to be. So there's not much of a problem. But if your place has new attack, which will make give you problems, then the god will let you know, oh, there's a yum right there, right? There's something wrong. So yeah. So going back to the topic of the ghost month, the lunar July 14th is the day people are freaked out about. And this thing originate from the Buddhists because they made up a story. And then that story lead to a tradition or practice, which is people think that the hell somehow opens. And then a lot of ghosts is coming here. And then they started like giving offerings, burning things, and they call that feeding the hungry ghosts. And you know how stupid this is because they're like, yeah, we're doing good deeds. We're like helping the homeless people, right? So we're like putting out food, burning the magic money and all that, right? Like they're doing all that stuff to strangers, like ghosts that have nothing to do with you. And it doesn't matter is there any ghosts or not, but they're doing it, right? And like anywhere that there are Buddhas, they do this every year. It's not stopping, it's not decreasing, it's increasing. Every year, the Buddhist temple use this to make money, right? And people who are like doing it at home, they often like go out to the street to like burn things to like feed the ghosts, right? And they're like, wow, we're gonna like do a lot of good stuff. We're doing like charity. So because of that stupid, foolish, ignorant practice, even the thing is fake, like from the beginning. It has become a habit, a practice that is happening all the time. And guess what? It attracted a lot of evil gods and looters to come. Yeah, you're giving out freebies, right? Every year, this month, there's like freebies everywhere. So, yeah, ye crap from everywhere is coming over and they're looking around trying to see where they can loot. And it's wild. So, yeah, even if it was not a thing before, it was made to become a problem. So during that lunar July month, we have to be extra on guard because you never know where the looters are and they're everywhere. So yeah, back then there was a time I was like driving, like Kim Satwan was driving. We were going back to the temple, and during that day is like wow, so many shit on the street, you know, like everywhere. So it's crazy. And usually it's around like starting from the July 1st all the way to July 16th. That's like the time frame. So to prepare, right, we have to make sure that we have a special protection food for the ghost month. And we'll be letting you know what to do. And you guys can use that to keep your home and yourself away from these annoying looters. So, yeah, there we go. Anyone else want to check in? Please come now. Okay, back to it up. TN number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. The ghosts, I take it that people are trying to earn merit by doing all these extra things, burning stuff, setting food out, and so on, which we know attracts the looter, the egod, the thing that isn't supposed to get this payoff. But I'm asking a question about the ghosts themselves. Are they? I understand that there's actually descriptions of these hungry ghosts. Are they actually metaphors and they're not real? But maybe some of them are real. Is it because they're ghosts because they didn't have a proper burial, or is it that they just didn't do themselves right in this life and they just had died tragically and suddenly and they just wander around? I guess I wonder with this ghost festival, it's somewhat murky to me personally. It's not my culture. Fine. The second is if you're protecting yourself from the ghost, but you're setting out food for the ghost, which ghost is the right ghost to get it? So I guess that's my big question there. And then, if we're protecting ourselves from the egods that come to show up because of the ghosts, like sharks following food, how does that all work? I know we're going to get more information on that, but that's kind of what comes to mind right now. Tingette number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay, well, make it clear. We are not going to feed the ghosts, okay? We're not like those Buddhists. So we're like, well, we have to protect our home, our people, right, our pets, away from the yi. That's the main thing. Um, so there is nothing such as hungry ghosts. There's a bunch of wandering ghosts and ye gods. Ye gods sometimes have slaves, right? And they bring over the slave, and there goes the ghost. So they're real. Why are they not real, right? Just like ye gods, they're real. Um, the other thing is wandering ghosts. How is it? How does it um, happen? Like, why would someone die and not go to the ghost world, or cannot go to the ghost world, right? So you see, um, when we die, our soul is supposed to gas out, right? And then it goes back to the Yunsan, and then it comes down again. It couldn't find your body because your body is dead already, right? So physically, it cannot survive, right? So your body is dead. Then your soul finally knows, okay, I got to find another place to go, and it goes back up, and then it goes back up to the ghost altar area, and you transition over to become a real ghost, and eventually you'll be in the ghost world there. Now the problem is when someone has a very yippy ghost altar, meaning that their negative soul is very heavy, very strong, like they have so much yip in the ghost altar, and it pushed downward instead of letting them go upward to that world. So what happened is your soul from the ghost altar push you back down, and you cannot really go up to the outer space area. So you become in this living space area that we stay right here. So it's like you cannot fly very high. So you end up like dropping back down. And at the same time, you're in like the D6 that overlaps here. So those are the ghosts that could be encountered by people when they're like, "Oh, I went here and I saw a ghost." That's the kind of ghost you can see, and they have one goal or one thing they want to do in general, which is to loot the chi, because to them that kind of chi, okay, the yang chi that is mild and kind of dying, those chi are kind of like warm water to them. It's like, yeah, if I can have a lot of those water, eventually I can go up, right? It helps them to float. So, but they can't just take a lot at once because it will burn. So what they do is they have to consume the very little small amount which is left over from human being after we trash things. So if you take like, you go to a place to eat, and then you're done eating and you're trashing your food, right? The trash can has your soul energy, your soul chi, a bit of your yang soul. And as it accumulates somewhere else where there's like not much people, then the ghost will see that place as a very comfortable place to like go in and soak. So they started soaking and getting more energetic, and eventually they can fly higher. And so they will believe as long as they grab enough, they'll be able to go to their world. So this is why they are looting and sucking up the stuff. And if you have those things around, you will get sick. You will like be drained by that stuff. You get physically tired, sick, very gloomy and sluggish and all that. It just drains your positive soul out like crazy. So yeah, when those wandering goes around, it also attracts a lot of thieves as well. Yeah, like thieves like to steal. And why do they want to steal? It's because there's a lot of these ghosts around affecting them. So they have the same mindset. Like, I want to loot, loot, loot. And there goes a lot of crime. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Tier number two, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Then at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. It had a series called um uh what is the name? It was basically a series on TCM Sajwan. Hasajan may be familiar with this because it's a pretty old series. It's called the name is just eluding me right now, but it's basically people who keep all this junk around their house, hoarders. They would have all this sort of crap, and it would be the same type of people who have the same kind of fat lick, same type of negative chi. Like they all look they all look very yippy. The place look very dirty. They just have a whole sort of clutter, and the average person will call it mental health issues, and I guess to some degree it is that, but it's also a great contributing factor of a lot of these things that they're holding and holding on to have a lot of spirits and egos and a whole set of negative chi that's associated and attached to these things. So they're just continuously just hoarding and picking up stuff. Like some of these people who go to the trash bin of restaurants or shops or any type of business and just go in it and pick it up and just pick up these things and carry it home. And then you come across other people who are called dustbin divers or something like that. Basically, they make a living by going into dustbins or trash bins, trash bins from different companies that they will just throw a whole set of different luxury items, whether it's a whole 10 pairs of shoes or handbags or electronics. They will just dump them, and nothing is wrong with it physically, but now that you explain more about this, these things are probably they're sacrificing it like you usually tell us. They turn it away and they're sacrificing it. And these people who are going into the bin are picking it up and getting a lot of the companies or people bad luck. And when you're also talking about this month, about the ghost month with the Buddhists and them, it kind of made me think about Halloween. Um, you will. I don't know the history behind Halloween, but it feels like the same thing where people would put out or dress as ghouls and goblins to hide their identity as people, so they won't be taken away or assaulted by whatever gods or spirits or demons that are coming out on the Halloween night. It sounds pretty familiar. It sounds kind of familiar like that to me, but I don't know if there's a correlation. But yeah, and also I have one more question, Sajan. Well, yeah, this is probably my first question. But we're in August, and in the group you're talking about July 1st, but we're in August right now. Could you give me some clarification on that for the ceremony? Do you go by different calendar or something? Back to you, senior at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
It's the lunar month, Chinese calendar. Okay, not the Western calendar. Yeah. So yeah, the problem with those people collecting garbage, yeah, it is crazy. Um, when food like a banana, right, or bread, you keep it for a while when it's good and you consume it, it's good for you. But when you keep it too long and it dies and enter the D9 phase, where that thing is like going back to pre-heaven, right? What happened? It started to grow like mold and all the weird stuff. And when you consume that, it's going to be bad for you, right? So same thing with our chi. D9 is a death chi. It helps to like finish things. So it doesn't help you to like what we call prosper. It helps you to end something. Sometimes you can use it like the D9 chi. You can use it for a good purpose. Like You use it to end someone's life, right? To end the lawsuit or something, right? Like ending something. Okay, fine. If you use it good, good. But if you are living in a house with too much of the D9 type of chi, it will be very bad for your health because your health needs the D8, right? It needs D8, D7 to make you strong. So, and a very good example was over the weekend, Wing was staying at home, right? The late house, and they just trash a lot of stuff, like a whole house, like a whole truck of things. So those things gone, right? The physical side, the physical item are gone, but the chi is not yet circulate back to pre-heaven. So there's a lot of D9 chi around the house and inside the house not cleared. And because of that, Wing was feeling so awful and then having lots of like different incident happening and make her like feel like shit. And I was like, yeah, that's why. So that day when Lei came home from Ubering, he did the scripture that I posted, right? The 5 dragon Bagua scripture, which dealt with that thing. And he cleansed everything out, and both of them are doing much better afterward. Like the whole thing just shift 180 degree, like totally change. So yeah. Tier number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Teammate number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Was just thinking about the story that you were talking about, the ghost who couldn't make the jump. Because I remember the first time I'm hearing this lesson, you had to explain that it's also the part, the people who are doing the like the criminals who are just breaking into people's house. Apparently, they do have their ghost has invaded into them, and they have to do something about, like they have to loot. They must loot. They put in that into other people's mind that they must loot. The people who are looting, there's a ghost who is trying to so that they get to the point where that they are able to make that kind of jump that you have mentioned earlier. I don't know if you can still recall that kind of lesson. I believe that also something that you said in one of the previous lessons in the past. Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Back to you.
Okay. Well, the ghosts themselves, like the wandering ghosts that I talked about, right? They don't know what's going on here. Like they don't see you, they don't see anyone, they don't see human or any of our world. Okay. So there are some movies, ghost movies, especially in Chinese. They try to like tell you that the ghost can see our world, and they'll be like licking off the food on the table and things like that. That's so freaky. But it's not going to happen, okay? Because they don't see our world. They're in D6, okay? Just like we don't see their world because we are not in D6. So what does it feel like for them? Our world is opposite. So you can kind of get it this way. Do you would you like to stay in a very cold, dark place? Like lock you up in a prison. You don't like it, right? That it feels good. We like warm, not too hot, but we like warm and bright place, right? Like somewhere with light, like our living space. For the ghost, it's actually the same. But our world is like opposite. So the place that we see as dark to them is bright. Okay. So you see, if we're like living in the city, everywhere there's light and stuff like that going on, right? So it's kind of bright because you can still see stuff. If you suddenly drive to like, the forest, the mountain, there's like no light at night, right? It's all dark. That place, the dark place, will be more likely to have the wandering ghosts around because to them, that's bright. Right? That is the bright area at that time. So they will like that spot. And if we feel that place is colder than usual, okay, like a basement, for example, right? Not sure in USA, but here in Canada, a lot of the house have a basement, and the basement usually have a room they call the cold room. And the cold room is actually like a room that is made for storage. So they like you put your food, your cans, and whatever in there, right? So that's supposed to be cold. And there's like people who will kind of make that room become their survival backup stuff room. But anyway, so that room is cold for us. We don't like staying in there. Like if we're inside there, it's not going to be comfortable. But for them, if they go to that place, it's like warm. It's more warm to them. They feel comfortable. So if you go into the mountain and then there's a cave, inside the cave is dark, it's wet, and it's cold. To them, it's like, wow, this is comfortable. To them, it's like the warm, comfy zone. So they like staying around there. So you see, if there's like a garbage station where like a garbage room and there's not much people there, there's like no one go there, it's dark, it's cold, it's quiet. That's the place that the ghosts will like because they feel comfortable and they don't see the garbage. They just feel different in that area, in their world, their dimension. Okay. Now, when they like see the soul chi floating around, right? Like our leftover soul chi floating around, they will feel like there's like food, it's kind of like you see water and oh, there's something to drink, there's something to eat, right? You just automatically go consume it and they feel better after consuming. Like you walk there and there's like this cherry and you're like, wow, there's food, let me eat it. Oh, it's so sweet, right? It's just like that. To them, it's so normal. But to us, if you get like one of these tagging around, then they start eating you instead of the garbage. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Yeah, here in the States, it depends on where you are in the region. Like up north, like Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, New York, some of these other places farther north, they have basements and underground types of facilities, or you can trick it out, make it a man cave or whatever it is that you like doing. That the geological structure supports the ability to have a basement. When you move farther south, like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, the soil structure is sandy, swamp-like. And so making a structure underground is more, is not as good because it will flood. It tends to flood. Even if you put sealant around it, even if you put bricks and stuff on it and all this kind of junk, it's going to flood. That's just what it does. So they don't have basements. They have attics. So it gets super hot up in the attic. Now, there may be rooms that can be set up to be cooler, and you can have them away from the home, or you can even turn the garage into somewhat of a cool area. But I can see how a ghost would see that location as being a good place for them, especially when I hear stories about places like coal mines, railroad cars, railroad stations, or remote places. It's really underground or cold, or people get lost when they get going inside of caves and stuff. Now I know, and I know better, that they probably were led by some kind of feeling. A ghost led them into this area and tricked them, and then they got lost. So that does make a lot of sense, that this would be a place where they're in their world, cold, damp, wet places are good and it's nice, and that they can find food or water or something to eat like wild animals based on us and what we leave behind. So ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Oh yes, there are videos showing some people like to be adventurous and they want to like discover those underground lost TTC or whatever subway station, a military base or whatever crazy stuff, right? Yeah, those places are abandoned and there were once people. So there are a lot of weak positive soul chi around. So that's a lot of food. How do we know, like the positive chi, right? How do we know if we have more or less, or like, yeah, how do you see it? Well, very simple, because the positive soul is the power that helps you physically operate. So obviously, right, little kids have less than adults in the mid-age, because the adults have like bigger body, more energetic physically, right? They have more power, so they have more of that chi. And elders, like, they're wearing down, their physical ability is dying, so they have less than the mid-age adults, right? The weaker you are with the physical, like your body, your organs, everything, right? The lower that is and smaller that is, the weaker it is. Okay, so you can see, if, like, oh, by the way, if you're a bodybuilder or martial artist, like, you might think, oh, I'm doing really well. My strength is good, everything is good, right? Yeah, but you still have time when you get sick, right? When you get tired, right? So even the body is like, oh yeah, it's pretty strong looking, all the six pack and stuff, like a soldier, right? Like, you might be very ripped, but you can still have your down days where you feel like crap. And you wake up, you feel all the ache, you feel like my body is not moving, my back, I'm trying to get up and oh shit, like that. That's showing you the positive soul is really weak too, right? So don't be fooled by the physical look of people, right? And when that positive soul is down to a certain range of weakness, then that becomes what those ghosts like to eat. Yeah. Okay. So that's why we want to upkeep our health and the chi, because we don't want to become like a food, right? So when you're like strong enough, it's kind of like we human look at something very hot like lava, you won't want to chew on it, right? It's too hot. Team number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Hey.
Tenured number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. So a lot of the residual chi that's left over in these abandoned places are more than likely to be negative chi, Sajran, because they say the positive chi fuels the physical body and the negative chi fuels, I would assume, the mind, and your actual fat look that you get every morning, the chi that you get from your yin sun. So essentially you're saying that right now, like, it's daytime for us. Wherever the sun is shining, that is where it would be nighttime in the ghost realm or that dimension, and it would be opposite. So everything is inverted over there. And just to get that clarification, and I would assume that is why people would say, like in folklore, do ever go in the forest at night, because there are things that comes out of night. And also, if that's the case, I did remember you say when there is no light, because the light is the one, it pushes it gives it, well, because the light is D1, it is becoming D1, and whatever it's shining on becomes D2. But once the light is gone, like the sun goes to set or whatever, and it's nighttime, the land, the trees become, the e-crap or fat lick or whatever sheet have inside of there just comes out because it's now D. That becomes the D1. It's no longer D2. So I guess what I'm trying to say without making it sound so confusing, that the light itself is kind of keeping a lot of these spirits and ghosts at bay because it is D1, and when it leaves and it's nighttime, they have the opportunity to kind of create like a portal because they're being pushed out into this world. Is that, am I going along the right chain of thought? Then yet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
No. You're mixing up stuff. Okay, two different things. The D1, D2 part, we're talking about objects that we have in this world. It doesn't have to do with them, okay? It's the object that we have in this world, how the chi inside works. So that's another thing. For the ghosts, they always stay in their world, their D6. They don't come out here in D8. If they ever crawl out to D8, it's like we fell into D6. We cannot survive. Like those ghosts, they will die. Like if they go to D8. Okay, anything crossing that D7 border, it's like we jump into a volcano. It feels like that. Okay, so you're not going to survive. No one will come out like that. When we exorcise the Yi crab, we push them out from D6 and out the D7, so they die as they come out. So that's why it's called exorcising, because you're pushing them out of their world. The forest, not exactly like 100% that way. Like when it's dark here, then there is like the sunshine, because over there in that world, there's actually no sun. Like you don't have external light. There's no sunlight. So it's another form that is like creating an environment where those things, if they're around, would be feeling like this is the place I should be, active, doing stuff, kind of like that. So you can get it as it is their daytime, but they actually don't have a sun. Like it's not like here. Okay, so everything there glows. Like if you're there, you glow. Everything emits their own light. Okay, so when it's when it's like our dark time, it's like their active time, kind of like that. You can get it kind of like that. Yeah. Okay, moving on to number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Team number 2, Kilo Alpha India. We were always under the impression that when we go like long distance, and most people do come across this ghost in the road somewhere along. So we thought that those are the people who have probably passed maybe an accident and stuff. We were under those impression. We didn't know that those are their favorite area, like because it's dark there. There's no lights like the electricity in our places like here. So we're always under that impression. It never struck me like that, the way you're saying that right now. Team number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Yeah. Well, you see, even it's sunny outside, human is like more inclined to go there and walk around, play around, do things in the sun. It doesn't mean that we have to. Okay, so yeah, there's like a place where it's all sunny, sunshine, good weather. Okay, usually, if we want to go out and play, we go out there. But it doesn't mean that there's always people. Like we can all just don't want to go out. So what I'm saying is, in our world, when it's dark and wet and all that, it's like a more comfortable place for those ghosts. And if there is any, and if they want to go, they most likely would go there. Okay, compared to like going to a person's house, which is like not as comfortable. So it's not like a dead rule where like, oh, it's dark, there's a ghost. No, there's not. Like it doesn't work like that, right? There's always like a choice, you know, like the ghost can choose to not go and just leave that place empty, right? So, but we have to understand that the ghosts feel more comfortable in those area. So we don't go there because that's not somewhere like we want to stay. And nature actually will teach us already. You know, like when you're a kid, you might be afraid of the dark for no reason. No one teach you anything. You look, there's the dark room, you don't want to go in. Like it feels not right. Yeah, right? Because that is like our sensor. We're born with the sensor and we know not to go. But somehow, the adults are like, yeah, it's fine, like, yeah. Because why? Because when you're a kid have very little positive soul compared to the adult, right? So if you as a kid go there, you will most likely be hurt, be harmed by the ghost because you're food, right? But the adult go is fine. The adult has a lot of chi and it's very like energetic. So the ghost won't eat you because like you're too powerful. You can be eaten, right? So the adult is not scared because they don't feel that thing is a threat. But to the baby or kid, it is a threat because their size is small, right? It's like we adult look at like a cat, right? We're not so scared, but if you look at like a bear, now you're scared, right? That thing is big. So we can feel there are places that we should not go and we'll be scared of it. And it's very natural. But somehow, when people are like, I don't believe there's a ghost, then you run into problems. And then you get chewed by the ghost without even realizing why you get sick. Like, why do you go to camping and then you just go pee in the bush and come back and then you're like fever for a few months? Like, why? Why the fever is not going away? You had your medicine, you have everything, it's not going away. Yeah, you got haunted, right? Basically, that's what happened. So a lot of the time, people are so ignorant that they don't realize that it's actually ye crap. And then when you get sick, that like 3 months of fever, after that, you think it's over. No, the ghost actually went into your system and they start chewing up your yunsan. And then your life start going downhill. Very bad. There we go. It is now already 2:05 p.m. We'll end the net here. 73 to all. We'll see you on NetB or on back online. So this is TY9YUE. It's clear. Clear!
Tenute number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf, clear.